Hello snowboarders of the internet, I am your host TC and this is Top 5s, the only weekly top 5 show in snowboarding that you come to see which boards are going to have you hucking your meat into that fresh pow. On today's episode we will be talking about the top 5 best freestyle powder boards of the 25-26 season. If you're interested in any of these boards, make sure you're going down in that description and clicking those affiliate links. That way you don't have to go searching the internet for yourself. If you want to take a different approach to it, a more core approach, and just head on into your local shop, let them know we sent you and slap them a high five. Number 5 is the Nitro Basher. Now this board is going to be flat with rocker on the nose and the tail. It's also going to have an asymmetrical side cut, so it is going to be a little bit different on the heels than it is on the toes, but when you're in the fresh powder, it really doesn't matter that much. This board just wants to get in the air and really just pretty much turn everything into the park, especially when you're in that fresh. This board is really fun, not going to be the stiffest thing out there, so it is really friendly when you are just kind of trying to learn those hits into the powder, that sort of thing, or even hit those drops. This board is going to do it for you. So you don't have the most landing gear on the tail, but you really don't need it because the nose and the tail are so wide on it that you can really land a little bit more bolts than you can with your average board, so you don't totally have to have that weight totally shifted back, and it will land it for you, no problems there. Since it is a twin, it will ride switch totally fine. If you're a competent rider and can ride powder switch, you could totally do it on this board with zero issues. This thing does nose and tail butter extremely well, especially in that fresh pow. It gives you a huge surface area to work with, and it just holds you up really nicely. Number 4 is the E.Jack knife by Libtech. This board is awesome. It does everything that I wanted it to do, especially when I rode it at A-Basin. It was amazing. Not going to be as stiff as the previous versions, and it's going to have a little bit of 3D shaping in the nose, so when you are trying to just plow through and really hold your speed into that takeoff, it will do that for you. It's also going to help with that nose popping up, so if you do land a little bit more bolt on this board, it doesn't want to just straight submarine dive underneath the snow for you there. This board is awesome. It's also going to be on the damper side, so if you are coming into a more of a chunky, uneven run-in, it's not going to affect you quite as much, and that's also going to be coupled with a pretty mellow mag on it, so it's not going to be super aggressive where you're just feeling it slow you down on that fresh powder. It doesn't really do it that much for you, so in my opinion it's the perfect amount of mag for pretty much a freestyle pow board, but this thing is absolutely awesome. I love what they've done with it, where it's a little bit more obtainable for that average rider that's not making it out there every day. So it's not totally made for E.Jack himself, it's made for that consumer out there, and that's exactly what it should be, because this board absolutely rips and pow. It's got great pop, so when you do load that thing up to take it off, you know you're gonna get a little extra high there and just pretty much have full confidence with this board because it is a straight up weapon. Number 3 is the Standard XTRM. This board is so much fun. You have a nice wide nose on it, a nice wide tail, and you get a little bit of mid-bite in there, so it does become a little bit more maneuverable, especially if you need to just change your line right before you hit that takeoff. But this board has got plenty of pop and landing gear on it, where since it is wider on the nose and tail, it does want to float a lot better than say just your standard or than just the actual basic or anything like that, where if this board's good enough for Dustin Craven to ride in natural selection, it's definitely good enough for you because you're probably not hitting 80-foot drops on this thing. It's gonna hold up to really anything you throw in front of it, especially if you have seen Dustin's runs in natural selection. You know this thing can really just take on the whole mountain, especially that fresh powder, and really just destroy everything. I had a great time on this board. It really handled everything I wanted it to, where get that thing in the air and it's gonna be so much fun. Even though it is a little bit wider underfoot, I didn't really feel that. especially in the fresh snow. This thing just wants to kind of just turn whenever you do. But the great thing about this board is because it is wider, that when you do land, you don't really get that toe or that heel sink in, where it just wants to land flat and stay flat. So you're not gonna get that pesky toe or heel bite and just start tomahawking. It's not gonna be like that unless you really just land toe or heel heavy. This board absolutely rips in that fresh pow, especially when you're trying to get tricky. While I have you here, you might as well like, subscribe, click that bell, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss any of our scheduled programming. Number 2 is the K2 Antidote. This board is probably going to be the most aggressive board on the list because you are rocking camber from contact point to contact point, making it not the most user-friendly board, but they did kind of remedy that, especially for the powder, where they threw 3D in the nose right past the contact point. So when you're riding on those smooth groomers or pretty much heading into that packed takeoff, it's gonna really stay nice and stable. But with that 3D in the nose, when you actually hit that lip, send it as far as you possibly can or you're comfortable with, when you land, that nose wants to pop up for you. So it's really not gonna just submarine on you like a straight up cambered board is. So you don't have to lean back quite as much as you would for just a regular cambered board, but you're still gonna have to lean back a little bit there. This thing wants to take every jump that you put in front of it with speed. Speed is gonna be your friend on this board, and I mean, honestly, why would you want it any other way, especially when you're getting freestyle in that side country or possibly even that back country? You're gonna wanna take it with speed, especially when you do get into that deep snow. That's where it's really gonna take its hold and just pretty much land those things with straight up force. You're gonna have to be a little bit higher end of a rider with this thing, but it's nothing too crazy, especially if you're a competent snowboarder, know how to ride in POW. I know a lot of people like myself didn't grow up with a POW board. You had one board to do everything, and that's kind of what the idea is behind this, where you could take this board, ride it on regular groomers, but it really shines in that fresh POW, especially getting in the air. Honorable mentions. Remember, these are all great options. They just weren't able to crack our top 5 this year. The first honorable mention is the new Public Outreach. This board is pretty much a jib board disguised in a POW board's body, where it is gonna be nice and forgiving. It's definitely on that softer side of things, but that's what makes it really fun for freestyle POW riding. You can really get on this thing, not have to throw a lot of effort in to get those nose and those tail butters out, and since it is a little bit softer, when you do land in that fresh POW, it kind of bows in the middle there and it wants to just pop up right out of that snow. So you stay nice and pretty much stay right above it. The second honorable mention is going to be the Nitro Alternator. This board is so much fun. It's not strictly just a POW freestyle board. You can just rip groomers on it, but what makes it a great POW freestyle board is because the nose is going to be softer than the rest of the board. So when you do take off on those POW jumps and you land it, that nose is going to flex a little bit more and bring you right back up. It also is great for nose and tail butters. You're going to have to throw a little bit extra work into the tail, but nothing too crazy. It's not going to be fighting you or anything like that. And the final honorable mention is going to be the Roam Service Dog. Now this board did get an update this year, so it doesn't ride like the previous versions of it, but it still feels really good. You don't have to work really hard at all to get those nose or tail butters in. If you happen to just want to go slide a log jib in that fresh snow, you totally can. It's gonna really flex around that if you're sliding it sideways. If you're just gonna normally regularly just 50-50 it, because who wants to catch an edge on a knot? It totally will do that for you. It locks in really well. This board is going to be more on that lively side, so if you do happen to find yourself on an uneven run-in or anything like that, you're gonna end up feeling it, so just keep those knees bent. Remember guys, these are all great options for honorable mentions. They just weren't able to crack our top 5 this year. If you're interested in getting involved in the Angry Snowboarder community, head on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. What is it, you might ask? Sure, I could explain it here, but we have a great video over there getting into it really in depth. And the number 1 powder freestyle board for the 25-26 season is the Jones Howler. Now I know what you're thinking. You look at this board on paper, you're like, man, that thing's pretty aggressive. Don't be scared by it. It's not as bad as you actually think. This board turns really well. It holds its edge extremely well because of that traction tech. And it's not going to be quite as stiff as you would really think. It is a little bit stiffer in the tail than it is in the nose, but this thing can handle anything freestyle, especially on that big mountain POW terrain, where you can just go ride spines with it, no problem whatsoever. And you could still just pop off with this thing, have all of the oomph that you want to get out of that tail. And it's got a nice light swing weight where there is some choroid in the nose there. So as you're spinning, it's going to feel a little bit lighter. So just keep in mind, you might over rotate on the first one or so, but really it does its job really well. And another great thing about this board is it does have that 3D in the nose and some in the tail. So really this thing wants to float. It wants to just get up and really disperse all that snow to the outside, funnel it out there, and just keep you above it. This board absolutely rips. You guys know how much I really do like Jones, and I mean, Avran had his voice in this one as well because he did actually review it this year, so if you haven't seen it, go check that one out. But we both really enjoyed this board. It's not strictly just for the POW. You can ride this thing other places, even on hard packed, but it's just great for riding just POW and absolutely getting this thing in the air and really just kind of making the whole mountain your freestyle park. We both really like this board, and I think you guys will too. As always, guys, I've been your host TC, and this has been the top 5 best powder freestyle boards of the 25-26 season. If you have any of these, leave a comment down below. If you're thinking about picking one up, let us know what you're thinking and we can just try to funnel you in the right direction.